Welcome to the Whitbeer Circus. I am trying a new setup tonight, and this way you can see me, because maybe you care, maybe you don't. It helps me feel like I'm talking to somebody for real, for the 0 people that watch this. Tonight is just kind of a pre-release breakdown. I did get to go to one pre-release event this weekend. I'm going to walk through kind of all the hyperspace foils that I got, the legendaries and rares that I pulled, and talk a little bit about the game itself and kind of what I learned about the game. So first of all, get a good look at this Mandalorian and Moff Tarkin. If you go and get the pre-release kit, you get this as hyperspace on one side and the hyperfoil on the other. It's not like a showcase. I've seen a showcase in real life. These are cool, but this is definitely not a showcase. It's a hyperspace foil version of the leader, which is pretty neat. I haven't seen that yet in the base set either. So you get those. Those are kind of fun. I did pull a Hyper Boba, Hyper Spice Mines. Other hypers I ended up pulling here, the Reputable Hunter, Gentle Giant, and the Kentan Intimidator, and then the foils. Got these foils here. So nothing crazy, right? Just a bunch of commons in my foils and a bunch of commons in my hyperspace. I will say getting the Boba Fett hyper was kind of fun, and I did play the Boba Spice Mine, so this was my play game for the game. And then in terms of hyperspace foils, I got the Finn Rao, which is a really nice one, as an uncommon. It's a pretty desired card. And then a common. Oh, I did get a hyperspace Millennium Falcon, which was really nice. And then apparently I also got a foil Jango Fett, which I didn't quite realize was a rare. That was like a bonus rare that I got, but it looks really cool. Good to have that as well. So those are my foils and my hyper space foils in terms of rare cards that I've got there. Put those over here. And then in terms of legendary, I did get the Krayt Dragon. That was my legendary. That did go into my deck. That was a game-winning card twice for me in that glare, trying to figure out the lighting to keep the glares off. But that was a game-winning card twice for me with a couple other cards. Long Pike, Let the Wookiee Win, Altering the Deal. This one came out damaged. I'm noticing lots of reports of damaged cards and packs. Now, maybe that happens all the time, but when people post about the gripes now, I'm in the community, whereas before I wasn't. I can see it more. Effet Mon, Wild Ranker, and those were the 6 that I pulled in my pre-release. I did go 2 and 2, so I got an extra couple of packs with the Wild Ranker and a Dr. Evazan in those. So those are my total rares and legendary pulls. I'm going to pull the Krayt out over here. And then that was it. Like, just in terms of my overall spread, not bad, I think, for the pull that I got. The Falcons did go into my deck as an off cast, just to give me, I was already working toward that higher anyway. One of the Wild Rankers in my deck did not see that one hit the table. A couple other cards that were really critical was the Alfie. Alfie, it's a 4/6 for a 5 cast that lets you attack another creature and give it +2. So that with the Ranker really cleared the board in one game, made a big difference. And then Timely Intervention, I used that twice to give a big win. So Timely Intervention turned out to be a really big pull for me, just in terms of, like, it's a common. It went into the smuggle. That Krayt with the ability to do that Timely Intervention to help get me a bonus on that one. Or the bonus Timely Intervention was the smuggle to give ambush, and then smuggling that with the Delphi was a big one, and then just using the Timely Intervention to clear the board when the Krayt hit. And I think one of the games that I won, let's talk about the Krayt Dragon for a second, because this card is insanely overpowered, okay? I say insanely overpowered because I don't typically play cards like this. They have to pay. So I put this down once when there were 2 unexhausted ready units that could kill it on the board, mainly to force the guy to think about what he was going to do with his people, because anything he cast, anything he played is now going to hurt him. He chose to attack it with the Phoenix Shan. He did 8 damage to it, didn't clear it out, and the Phoenix Shan died. And then he took the other guy that he had out, which I can't remember who it was now, but he had another pumped up guy that had a couple on him. He could have killed it, but he would have lost both, and he opted to go to the base instead. Then I took the initiative, and that won the game, because when I readied that sucker next turn, we went Overwhelm, ran through his guy, did damage to his base, his arena was cleared. If he had sacrificed the guy to take out the Ranker, yes, it would have been a 1-2 trade. Good for me anyways, with some damage on his guy, but he wouldn't have had any damage from casting spells. He wouldn't have had to deal with the Ranker the next turn. He could have put out another guy and taken an extra turn to get me, because I had nothing left. This was my last big play. So I think that I won because it put pressure on him to make different decisions, and those decisions he made weren't great, and I ultimately got the game on a concession. So interesting card. It did a lot more than I thought it would, and I was surprised to get it out twice. But these games tend to run a little bit longer. In the format as well, it runs a little bit longer, I think, in the pre-release, because you're fighting with an not a perfect deck. Anyways, I had a blast. I loved the pre-release event. I loved the drafting event. I like those best in terms of play, mostly because I'm not necessarily a competitive player. I'm not pushing in for the high value legendaries or even the 5-value versions. For me, all of these hyperfoils, like this is a cool one I'll keep, but like this Millennium Falcon, this looks cool. This hyperspace is worth more than the standard version, and that allows me to, I could trade this down, get a standard version from someone with some cash. That cash allows me to continue to cover my cost in the game, which is kind of my whole purpose right now for set 2, and what I'm investing in there is to see, can I cover my cost with set 2. So if you follow along and subscribe, not only will I be opening packs as soon as my boxes start to come in this week, I will also be talking about how that's going for me. Am I able to cover costs? Can the game pay for itself with the right type of buy-in or investment? We'll find out. If it doesn't, I might be liquidating my entire inventory. Please feel free to check my TCG store for individual cards. They just have the best. I'm putting up there because they just have the best rates. Just in terms of what you pay for selling. eBay takes a higher rate, but I will be putting lots of things in terms of like groupings. Not lots of things, but groupings of things. So like the groups of hyperspace cards probably be over on eBay. I've got a lot of hyperspace foils from set 1 up at the time of posting this video. So in terms of me moving product and making sure I'm not just swamped with stuff, those things will be over there, common play sets, uncommon play sets, and things like that. So follow me here, go to TCG store and links in the thing, and then also go to the eBay store, and you can maybe find some stuff there as well. That's it. And thanks for coming. Thanks for following. If you're watching, I don't know who is. I love watching this kind of crap right now. It's ridiculous, but it's also just relaxing. So I appreciate it. Gone way too long. You should have turned this off 4 or 5 to go. Thanks.